All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is your host, ID Jester. Thanks for checking out my video. An update here for the YouTubers Plus gaming group here. We meet every Thursday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Play 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. Have a great group going on. Unfortunately, we got some bad news tonight. It looks like the original Grognard, the big OG, is going to have to drop out of the game. He's got a personal issue he needs to attend to, which we totally understand. We support him in everything we can, and he's a good friend to all the players, a good friend to all of our YouTube community out there, and he will sorely be missed. His role playing experience has definitely added to the group, and unfortunately, it looks like for the time being, we're going to be losing the original Grognard to the group, and we wish him the best for him and his family, and hope he can come back at some time when it's convenient and everything works out for him. So, unfortunately for us, we are going to lose the original Grognard. Uh, so, unfortunately for us, that is the situation. But on the positive side, if there is someone out there that is interested in joining the YouTuber Plus gaming group, and hopefully someone out there, a YouTuber that is part of our community that wants to step up and take over the original Grognard's character, we're looking for a player. So, here is kind of the outline in case you're new or not sure what's going on with this. We're playing 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. You're going to be signing up for a 4-session adventure, so it gives you a chance. Try it out for 4 weeks. Find out if it's something you're interested in, something you like, and then at the end of the 4 weeks, when the adventure is completed, we'll reevaluate and find out based upon players' desire to continue and how well things play out. We might decide to continue on. We might decide to start a new group. We might decide not to continue. I mean, it's unknown at this point. But what you're signing up for is a 4 weeks, 4 sessions, every Thursday night for the next 4 weeks. And we're going to be playing 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. What's required of you is you have to be able to run Fantasy Grounds. You can download the demo free version from the Steam or from the Fantasy Grounds homepage. Doesn't cost you anything. It's a free. I have the Ultimate account, which allows me to have players that are running the demo version connect to me for free. So you don't need to purchase anything. You have to be able to download, install, configure, and get running Fantasy Grounds. And you got to be able to connect to our server for the game. If you can't do that, then unfortunately we can't have you join the group. You also need to have a microphone and a web camera, and we have to be able to run Google Hangouts for your web camera, so we can see you, we can communicate with you, we can talk back and forth, and just communicate during the game session. And of course, you have to be available on Thursday nights from 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 10:30. And hopefully, one of our good YouTuber friends out there or someone that's a subscriber will be able to take over for the OG. Now, with that said, I was going to continue with just our current 4 players, which is Dog Sidious, Stratomatic Delaware, Dylan Dew, and Herb Pilgrim. Unfortunately, the original Grognard was playing a human cleric, and to have that cleric just disappear out of the group is going to leave the players without any healing support. So I decided to, instead of just having that character disappear, see if we can find someone that is going to replace and take over for the original Grognard, that same character. So this would be somebody that wants to join and play the human cleric that's already built into Fantasy Grounds that we've already got. We've already started playing with them. If you want to start a different character or your own character, then this is not the session for you. This is just someone out there that can take over and play the human cleric for the original Grognard, and hopefully someone will step up and be able to do that. You have to be able to run Fantasy Grounds, as I mentioned, and have a web camera and a way to communicate with us with voice. We will accept ladies and gentlemen and everyone in between. We are a family-friendly, great group of guys. In fact, Dog City, Stratomatic, Dylan, and Herb has actually started to form into a really nice, cohesive group now. It's taken some growing pains that we've experienced as they are learning the Fantasy Ground software, they're learning the 5th edition rules, they're learning role playing concepts, and kind of doing all this at the same time. You don't have to be a Fantasy Ground expert, so you've never ever used Fantasy Grounds. That's okay. No one in the group except for myself has ever used Fantasy Grounds. If you haven't used Fantasy Grounds, we can, and it would be a requirement for you to connect either Monday night, Tuesday night, or Wednesday night ahead of time for a couple hours where we can give you a tutorial on how to operate Fantasy Grounds. So when we have the adventure live streams, we aren't slowed down by your lack of knowledge of Fantasy Grounds. So Monday night, Tuesday night, or Wednesday night, we could hook up ahead of time for a couple hours, go through the setup, how to manipulate maps, how to use your characters, how to roll dice, etc., etc., etc. The game is not complex. There's just a little bit of a learning curve, and obviously, the more you know about Fantasy Grounds, the easier it would be. But like I said, it's not a requirement. You don't need to be a Fantasy Ground expert. You don't need to be a 5th edition expert. You can download a free copy of the basic rules for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition for free. You can read that over and get yourself familiar with 5th edition pretty quickly. And you don't need to be a role-playing expert, but I would highly recommend some videos out there on YouTube that introduces role-playing to newer players. We would like you to just have basic knowledge of role-playing, basic knowledge of 5th edition, and basic knowledge of Fantasy Grounds, and hopefully you'll be able to work through the growing pains that the other players have gone through quickly and get yourself up to speed and be able to participate and add to the group. So again, this would be to play the human cleric that the original Grognard was playing. If you don't wish to play that character, you wanted to play your own character, I would wait and see. I'm thinking about starting another group, possibly before or after this adventure ends. I've got some other things in the works, so you might want to wait and hang on for that information to come out if you're not interested in playing a human cleric. So this is someone, hopefully another YouTuber that is in our community, since this is a YouTuber Plus, or a subscriber to one of our channels. If you're a subscriber to any one of our YouTuber community channels and you're interested in playing, so that's why I call it the YouTuber Plus. So it's the YouTubers and the subscribers in our little community, because we have a really great community. We need to just keep promoting it and giving back to one another in our community. So I'm just hoping that someone would step up for OG and see if they can help out for 4 sessions. Again, requirements: Fantasy Grounds, download, install a free demo version. You don't need to pay for anything. You have to be able to have a microphone and a web camera, and you have to be available on Thursday nights from 8 to 10:30 for about the next 4 weeks. And like I said, once the adventure's over, we're going to reevaluate how things go based on player feedback, starting over, continuing. It's hard to say. It just depends on how things go. So That's kind of where the YouTuber Plus gaming group is at right this minute. And like I said, I would stay tuned to my channel for further announcements. I'm going to be putting some more stuff together. So you might have an opportunity to join something else, or you might have an opportunity to participate in different adventures. So be looking for that video to come out probably sometime this week. So hopefully that kind of explains everything. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them down in the comments section below. But if you're interested in joining and taking over for the original Grognard and taking over and playing his human cleric, we've already got it built in Fantasy Grounds. The character's ready to go. You don't need to change anything. You don't need to create anything. All you're basically going to be doing is taking over and playing his character so that his character doesn't leave the group and it doesn't leave the other players shorthanded without any healing support for them. Uh, so if you're interested in stepping up and helping our good friend the OG and supporting our YouTuber Plus gaming group, let us know in the comments section, and let us know if your familiarity with Fantasy Grounds, your familiarity with Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, and your familiarity with role playing. And again, you don't need to be an expert in any of these categories. And if it takes us some time to get you through some of the learning curve, we're more than willing to dedicate our time to get you up to be able to do that. And like I said, the Dog City, Stratomatic, Dylan, and Herb have actually started to form into a really cohesive group of adventurers now, and they're starting to learn one another's habits and starting to learn about their characters and starting to learn about the other characters. And it's taken us some time. We've had only one live session, but we've had 4 or 5 side sessions where we've just got together to test things, get everyone more familiar with everything. And we've had a great time doing those side sessions, and has helped progress our learning curve throughout this experience so that we can produce some quality adventure time for those that come and watch on Thursday nights. So even if you can't make it as a player this time, if you can support our YouTuber Plus gaming group Thursday nights, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we greatly appreciate it. We'd love to have you. So thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully we'll get someone to step up for the OG and while he's going through his issue, and hopefully we'll get someone to take over for his character, and we'll continue on for the next 4 weeks bringing you some great 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons role-playing experience. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.